I don't like having this tight connection between their activities, but that's their choice.
You guys were live. Oh, and actually, oh, there it goes.
and welcome to the First Universalist Church of Yarmouth. My name is Joanna Lansman. I'm the president of your board of trustees, and I have a little bit of deja vu this morning. I am so happy to be greeting you live. I can feel you with me, with us. I can sense your smiles. Welcome. At First Universalist, our mission is to explore our faith, embrace this community, and to engage the world as spiritual seekers. It's so wonderful to be saying those words again out loud, knowing or hoping that you're hearing them as they're spoken. And in that way, we truly are together. Before our service begins this morning, I'd just like to highlight a couple of things. First, please join us for fellowship, minus the coffee and the goodies, after today's service. There's a separate Zoom link in the email that you received this morning. Sure, it's not quite the same as our normal coffee hour in person, but seeing each other's faces is food for the soul. Second, our annual meeting is next Sunday by Zoom after the morning service. So please do plan to join us. Your participation, your presence are crucial and appreciated. But now, take a deep breath and settle into this different but still sacred space that we share together. Once again, welcome.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Pete and Kai, Gwen and Arwen. Good morning. How are you? Kind of a rough weekend, huh? I put on my Wonder Woman stole this morning. Felt appropriate. And you know, despite it all, it's good to be together in this newfangled way right now, on this bright morning. You're good. Wherever you're at right now, it is right where you need to be, and you're not alone in that place. So, as we must in our short, precious lives, today, my friends, we are trying again. Trying again to summon our strength, trying again to open our hearts, trying again to see a way forward, and trying again to live stream our worship service from the sanctuary. Our tireless tech crew, Kai Fast and Pete Titcomb, have been troubleshooting all week to ensure that we offer you a crisp, clear service on this crisp, clear morning. But if that does not turn out to be the case today, I invite you then to take a deep breath, close your screen, light a candle, take a few minutes to calm your mind and body, and then offer a prayer for yourself, for this community, for the world. Sanctuary is not just here anymore. It is everywhere. We are recording this service, and you will be able to watch it later, for real this time. And we will also record a short audio version of these words and some music for you to listen to whenever you like. Today is the last day of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, and it is the eve of the Days of Awe, a week when many Jewish folks believe the book of life is open for review. And this morning, in honor of all this, we will continue our exploration of renewal, our theme for this month. And, of course, we will also honor the life and legacy of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who died at the age of 87 Friday afternoon. And I want you to know that I am not going to be eulogizing Justice Bader Ginsburg today. There are a multitude of words written about her that you should explore on your own with your family, friends, and enemies. And we will consider what it takes to truly honor someone like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, what it takes to dissent, what it takes to keep at it and try again and again and again and again. Taking a moment to lift up her power, though, now, and honor all the feelings swirling around with us. Our invocation this morning is a poem by yet another very powerful woman, Maya Angelou, entitled When Great Trees Fall. When great trees fall, rocks on distant hills shudder. Lions hunker down in tall grasses, and even elephants lumber after safety. When great souls die, the air around us becomes light, rare, sterile. We breathe briefly. Our eyes briefly see with hurtful clarity. Our memory, suddenly sharpened, examines, gnaws on kind words unsaid, promised walks never taken. Great souls die, and our reality, bound to them, takes leave of us. Our souls, dependent upon their nurture, shrink. Our minds, formed and informed by their radiance, fall away. And when great souls die, after a period, peace blooms, slowly and always irregularly. Spaces fill with a kind of soothing electric vibration. Our senses restored, never to be the same, whisper to us. They existed. They existed. We can be and be better, for they existed. Good morning, my friends. Wipe the sleep from your eyes. It is time to wake up. I light our chalice in peace and friendship this morning, and the strength, the hope, and the love we need to create and sustain peace and friendship. Won't you join me now in listening and perhaps singing along to our opening hymn, number 18, What Wondrous Love Is This?
What wondrous love is this, oh my soul, oh my soul? What wondrous love is this, oh my soul? What wondrous love is this that brings my heart such bliss, and takes away the pain of my soul, and takes away the pain of my soul. When I was sinking down, sinking down, sinking down, when I was sinking down, sinking down, when I was sinking down beneath my sorrow's crown,
Our reading this morning is a short but mighty poem by Alicia Jo Rabbins, a writer, mother, musician, performer, and feminist scholar of the Torah. The poem is entitled, How to Assess Your Net Worth. How to assess your net worth. Take two small pieces of paper. On one, write, "The world was created for me." On the other, "I am only dust and ashes." Put one in each pocket and never leave the house without them. We now come to the time in our service that we set aside for silent prayer and contemplation. As these are recorded services, we will not be sharing our joys and sorrows during Sunday worship this fall. If you have a joy, sorrow, or concern you'd like to share with the community, join us for our Wednesday Vespers services at 7 p.m., and we have a regular time for sharing. Please know that I'm also here to listen and hold your joys and concerns with you, so don't hesitate to reach out and just let me know how you are. In a moment, we will enter a time of quiet. I will light 3 candles, one for our sorrows, one for our joys, and one for this moment. You can use this time of quiet perhaps as a time to reflect on the events of the past week, look forward to what may come in the days ahead, or simply be here now and all that this moment offers us in sensation and emotion. So won't you join me now by relaxing into your body, taking a deep, refreshing breath, and entering into a time of quiet. For all that we express, for all we hold inside, for all that we simply do not have the words to explain, we hear you, we hold you, and we wish you continued joy, immediate comfort, a path forward, and the seeds of peace. Amen. This month, in honor of our first principle, recognizing the inherent worth and dignity of every person, we're sharing half of our offering with the main Wabanaki Reach. Wabanaki Reach provides food and supplies to the 5 Wabanaki community food pantries through their Grandmother's Love Initiative, an initiative based on the values that grandmothers teach, that love is sacred and we must always help one another. You can make your offering by dropping a check in the mail, sending your donation via your bank, or donating online through PayPal. There is a donate online link in your order of worship this morning, as well as in the email we sent with the order of worship in it. And each week you can make your offering before or after the service, or you can donate now. Sam is going to play a longer piece of music in case you need some time to do so. If you have any questions about any of these methods of making your offering, please let us know. The morning offering has now been requested and will be gratefully received. Thank you. Thank you, Sam. I really wish you all were in the sanctuary right now. I kind of miss you. I don't even really know you, but I miss you so much. In time, slowly, slowly. The world was created for me. I am only dust and ashes. Last year at this time, I was teaching a spiritual memoir class at a boarding school. The course was a senior elective, cross-listed as an English and religion class. Coming straight to this school from years of religious education ministry, I basically ran spiritual memoir as a coming-of-age class. Though I'm not sure the 17 and 18-year-olds who are already battling some serious senioritis were willing to go as deep into their spiritual autobiographies as I had hoped. I began each class by handing out a poem that we read out loud twice. The first time, just one person would read the whole thing. The second time, we would go around our long seminar table and each read one line of it. In this way, there was a time for everyone to listen to the poem, a time for everyone's voice to enter the room, and two chances for those who tended to secretly play on their phones to pay attention to the poem, or at least pay attention to one line of the poem. After we read it, I usually ask the students to pull out their course notebook and either free write for a few minutes or respond to some questions. I passed out copies of Alicia Jo Rabin's How to Assess Your Net Worth early in the semester. We read and listened to it twice, and then I asked the students to open their journals and respond to these 4 questions. Number 1, how does the statement, "The world was created for me," make you feel? Number 2, how does the statement, "I am only dust and ashes," make you feel? Number 3, what's the point of writing both these statements down and putting them in your pockets? And lastly, do you want to try putting these statements in your pockets today and see what happens? I still have a number of these course journals. Students turn them in at the end of the semester, and a bunch never asked for them back. Deep dives into faith can be so fleeting. Flipping through these responses recently, I couldn't help but chuckle and pause. How does the statement, "The world was made for me," make you feel? Stressed? Fine. It makes me feel like I can do anything. It makes sense. Everyone's just in their own world all the time. I don't know. How does the statement, "I am only dust and ashes," make you feel? Stressed? It's stupid to think that. What's the point of your life if you think you're dust? It makes me think of church. It makes me feel kind of free, sort of. I don't know. What's the point of putting these statements in your pockets? So you are grateful for your life, but you don't get too crazy about anything. Put them in your pockets so you can be in your world, but you can also get out of your world. The responses to my final question, "Do you want to try putting these statements in your pockets?" was a resounding no, except for the kid who wrote, "I don't know," in response to all the questions. And my personal favorite response, "Do I want to put these in my pockets? Hell no. Maybe when I'm older though, and I'm ready to have an exciting crisis." An exciting crisis indeed. I remember we clarified in class that the term he was reaching for was existential crisis, but exciting crisis is close enough. I'm glad you guys are here so you can laugh at my jokes. Flipping through these spiritual memoir notebooks recently, laughing, and taking a moment to just be in that classroom again with that gaggle of teenagers, I remember the epiphany I had that day, discussing that poem. It was the same thought that let me finally fall asleep Friday night after receiving the unexpected news that Ruth Bader Ginsburg was dead. Alicia Jo Rabin's poem, How to Assess Your Net Worth, is a self-help poem, a weird, exciting, crisis-inducing self-help poem. There are no plural pronouns in it, no collective we, us, them, y'all. It's about me, my net worth, my world, my dust. I am a living being trying to thrive in the world that was created for me. And I am also dust, ash, and permanent. And one day I'll be nothing. Everything and nothing. As the youth say, it, me. But in listening to those kids work out the message of that poem that day in September, I was smacked with an obvious truth. A truth I missed because I was lost in my world. A truth that each one of those teenagers had these papers in their pockets. The truth that everyone was walking around with these pieces of paper in their pockets. Not just me. Sure, the poem asks us individually to consider that we are everything and that we are nothing, but it also reminds us that everyone is everything, and everyone one day will be nothing. Everyone is living in a world created for them, or perhaps more effectively, a world they see and feel and long to be fully alive in. And likewise, everyone is accepting the reality of impermanence, of loss, of the great connective tissue of dust and ash that we all are, that our worlds all are made of. Like many of you, I was in shock when I got the news that Justice Bader Ginsburg died Friday night. Word came unexpectedly at the end of a logistical email that my partner Alexis received about a class she's teaching. So-and-so students are having trouble accessing so-and-so file. Can you upload it again? Thanks. Also, did you see that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died? Awful news. Alexis immediately began to cry. I sat still, dazed. The evening became a haze of doom spiraling, attempts at hope, and just zombie stares into our phones. Eventually, we realized we just needed to walk the dog, calm down, and go to bed. Lying there, awake, I remembered How to Assess Your Net Worth was the reading I chose this week for this Rosh Hashanah morning. And I remember that moment in my spiritual memoir class when suddenly I saw a bigger picture of life and loss. A picture of life and loss beyond me, beyond just one person. This moment can't just be about Ruth Bader Ginsburg's world, or now Ruth Bader Ginsburg's dust and ash. It has to be about all of us. All of our ability to thrive, all of our ability to cope with loss, and all of our ability to recognize that we are inherently part of something greater than ourselves and greater than what we are carrying in our personal pockets. People posted messages left and right all weekend about RBG, and I admit I was amongst them. But the ones that gave me the most solace were the words that were empowering. The words that reminded the scrollers that Ruth's work was not in vain and is not over. That it's up to us now to carry her work forth. That we can be now. Be and be better because she existed. That we've got this. We've got this. We've got this. Yes, we've got this. But what does that mean, though? What do I do? What do we do to get this? Justice Bader Ginsburg once said, if you want to live a meaningful life, you'll do something outside of yourself. Something to repair tears in your community. Something to make life a little better for people less fortunate than you. That's what I think a meaningful life is. Living not for oneself, but for one's community. This weekend marks the new year of the Jewish calendar. It's now the year 5781. Shana Tova. Here's to a sweet year. Please, God, please. Tomorrow begins the days of awe, a period set aside for reflection, resolution, renewal, reassessment of our ways of being in the world, in our worlds. It's a time for reassessing our net worth and for making some resolutions. Where to start? Well, call your senators. Reach out to loved ones. Have hard conversations. Show up when you say you're going to show up. Send Reclaim the Vote postcards. Spend your money where it matters. Look to the places in your community that need mending and go there. And in this oddly polarized time of great collective suffering, try holding this thought in your mind as you go about your days. Everyone you cross paths with, physically and virtually, has a piece of paper in each of their pockets. One piece says, "The world was created for me." The other, "I am only dust and ash." These are in your pockets, too. Just hold that thought and see what happens. Perhaps a misplaced sense of care, of humanity, of connection returns to you. Perhaps you will ask someone, "How are you doing?" and really want to know. Perhaps things will get more complicated in a good way. Perhaps you'll experience a repair in the tear of your community. Perhaps you'll have an exciting crisis. I don't know. Just try, though. Just try again and again and again and again. Thank you, Justice Joan Bader Ruth Ginsburg. Thank you. Rest in power. Actually, just rest. Just rest. We've got this. Let it be so. We close with a melody I think you'll all be familiar with. May all beings be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience profound joy and the causes of profound joy. May we all know we are everything and that everything must pass. Go and be and be better. Be free. Amen. Thanks for joining us this Sunday. We'll see you in coffee hour in a few minutes, or Vespers, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Take care.